All right, so Jai Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rokhok Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Shri Rupanuga Guru Vaga ki Jai. Vishwareni Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. And Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai. So welcome to everyone at home, wherever you may be, at home or in a temple or anywhere. And welcome everybody here in our classroom. Everyone has come in from the RT just now, the London evening RT. And I was also there, but not for the whole RT because I came here to sit and get ready to be with you all. So we had darshan of Mahaprabhu, Gauranga Sundar, and Giriraj, Radha Giridhariju here in the West London temple. And coming before them, coming before our Guru Vaga, and then coming to you, hoping for their grace that we can try to present this part 2 of the introduction to Sri Chaitanya Charitamrta. So Sri Chaitanya Charitamrta ki Jai, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki Jai, and as we heard yesterday, the sister book or the book which came first and which then Krishnadas Kaviraj continued the theme, that is the book Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat ki Jai, and its author, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur ki Jai. So yesterday we, in a short way, but trying to get the key points explained, what is the book Sri Chaitanya Charitamrta and how it is important for us, important for everybody, because it is giving us the very gist and substance of the goal of spiritual life as given in the scriptures and as given by the living saints, headed by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Lord himself coming as a devotee. So Sri Chaitanya Charitamrta is a very important book. So Chaitanya Charitamrta, how did it come to be written by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami? Well, yesterday we didn't read any quotations directly. So today I thought we shall read from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita just a little bit. But in chapter number 5 of Adi Leela of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, here we have a little description by the author himself. So we're going to read today at the beginning Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. So just before we do that, we're going to say one verse in invocation, and you all know probably what that verse is. It is found in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita 2, Vandeham Shri Guru. Vandeham Shri Guru, Shri Yuta Padakamalang, Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha, Shri Rupam Sagrajatam, Sahagana Raghunatan Vitang Tang Sajivam. Sarvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitan Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitangscha. So now, reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela chapter number 5. Adi means the early pastimes, and Chaitanya Charitamrita is divided into early pastimes, middle pastimes, which is after Mahaprabhu took sannyas, after Nimai Pandit took sannyas, and then the Antya-Leela, the third section, is the last pastimes, which is after Mahaprabhu had come to reside permanently in Jagannath Puri, and there he lived the remainder of his 48 years manifest in this world in ecstatic love of Godhead in so many different levels and manifestations. In the Adi Leela, the early pastimes, chapter number 5, text number 181 onwards. So Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. And can you, okay, there. Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Everyone was a little uncertain if they should follow, but often we do follow. This is very often verse 2 or verse 3 of the chapters, but not every chapter of Chaitanya Charitamrta. So, in the village of Jamatpur, which is near Naihati, Lord Nityananda appeared to me in a dream. And who is me? This is Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj, the author of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrta. And that verse, by the way, we can read one or two verses in Bengali too. Naihati nikate Jamatpura name grama. Taha swapne dekadila Nityananda Rama. And then next verse, Dandabathoya ami parinu payete nija pada padma prabhu dila mora mate. I fell at Nityananda's feet, offering my obeisances, and then he placed his own lotus feet upon my head. And we'll explain a little bit more about Nityananda presently, because as this book, or maybe just now we should, Chaitanya Charitamrta, Chaitanya Charitamrta, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes, activities, his life and teachings, the Charit, Amrita, the nectar, eternal nectar of those pastimes. So yes, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the focus, but as Krishna does not come alone, when he comes to this world, he comes with so many associates. Similarly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu does not come alone, he comes with so many associates. And Nityananda Prabhu is considered as his brother, his older brother, just as Balaram is also considered as the elder brother of Krishna. So there are parallels of Krishna's pastimes and Mahaprabhu's pastimes. Because yesterday we learned that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna coming to this world. And he's Krishna with the mood and halo, heart and halo of Srimati Radharani. So, mentioning about Nityananda is equivalent of Balaram in Krishna Balaram, Balaram and Krishna, Nityananda and Mahaprabhu. And Nityananda is very generous and merciful. And so, in a dream, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj, the author, he had a revelation from Nityananda Prabhu. And then Krishnadas Kaviraj gave his obeisances and fell down at his feet, dandabat, like a stick. And then Nityananda placed his feet, his lotus foot, upon his head. Then, Utta, Utta, Boli, get up, he said. More to me. Boli, Bara, Bara, again and again. So, arise, get up, he told me again and again. Then, upon rising, I was greatly astonished to see his beauty. Utti tara rupa deki hoinu chamatkara. Everyone knows chamatkara. Many know chamatkara. This word is used by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj many times throughout Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita to mean astonishing. It translates into other languages as well, as we know. Okay, so Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj got up, and upon rising, I was greatly astonished, chamatkara, to see Nityananda's beauty. He had a glossy, blackish complexion, and his tall, strong, heroic stature made him seem like Cupid himself. He had beautifully formed hands, arms, and legs, and eyes like lotus flowers. He wore silk cloth with a turban on his head. He wore golden earrings on his ears and golden armlets and bangles. He wore tinkling anklets on his feet and a garland of flowers around his neck. His body was anointed with sandalwood pulp, and he was nicely decorated with tilak. His movements surpassed those of a maddened elephant. His face was more beautiful than 10 million, no, not 10 million, millions upon millions of moons. And his teeth were like pomegranate seeds. We had pomegranate yesterday here. Pomegranate seeds, because of his chewing betel. They can chew betel, we cannot. Srila Saraswati Thakur stressed this. And by the way, while reading this, I just wish to say, this is describing, building up to how Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj came to recite, came to compose Chaitanya Charitamrta, go to Vrindavan and compose Chaitanya Charitamrta. But this description of Nityananda Prabhu, Nityananda and Chaitanya, this description Srila Gurudev appreciated so much. And when one devotee compiled a book of Nityananda's glories in the last months of Srila Guru Maharaj's direct presence in, Srila Gurudev's direct presence in this world, then Gurudev heard parts of the book, and then he said, this description of Chaitanya Charitamrita must be included there, because said, here is the perfect description of Nityananda Prabhu coming from the pen of Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj. So his face was more beautiful than millions and millions of moons, and his teeth were like pomegranate seeds because of his chewing betel, not to be imitated. Then next verse, okay, Bengali. Preme mata anga dahine bame dole, Krishna Krishna bolya gambhira bolle bolle. So bolla bolle, his body moved to and fro. His body moved to and fro, right and left, for he was absorbed in ecstasy, and he chanted Krishna Krishna in a deep voice, Gambhira, deep voice, bole bole. Then his next verse, his red stick moving in his hand, he seemed like a maddened lion. All around the four sides of his feet were bumblebees. And then Parishada Gane Deki Soba Gopa Veshe, Krishna Krishna Kohe Sobe So Prema Aveshe. His devotees, dressed like cowherd boys, surrounded his feet like so many bees, and also chanted Krishna Krishna, absorbed in ecstasy, prema. Some of them played horns and flutes, and others danced and sang. Some of them offered betel nuts, and others waved chamara fans about him. Then Nityananda next. Nityananda Sarupera Dekya Vaibhava Kiba Rupa Guna Lila Alaukika Sabha. Alaukika, very uncommon Sabha, all. Thus I saw such opulence in Lord Nityananda Swarup. His wonderful form, qualities and pastimes are all transcendental. Then Anande Vivala Ami Kichu Nahi Jani Tabe Hashi Prabhu More Kohilena Bani. I was overwhelmed with transcendental ecstasy, not knowing anything else. Then Lord Nityananda smiled and spoke to me as follows. Are Are Krishnadasa na karaha bhaya, Vrindavane jaya, taha sava labhya haya. Oh my dear Krishnadas, do not be afraid. Go to Vrindavan, for there you will attain all things. Then after saying this, next verse, after saying this, he directed me toward Vrindavan by waving his hand. And which way is east? This way is east. Okay, anyway, we won't wave our hand towards Vrindavan in case we're sending someone in the wrong direction. But after saying this, Mahaprabhu directed me toward Vrindavan by waving his hand. Then he disappeared with his associates. I fainted and fell to the ground. My dream broke, and when I regained consciousness, I saw that morning had come. I thought about what I had seen and heard, and concluded that the Lord had ordered me to proceed to Vrindavan at once. Then, Sekhane Vrindavane Korinu Gamana Prabhura Kripate Sukhe Ainu Vrindavana. That very second, I started for Vrindavan without any delay. Sekhane, that moment, that very moment, Vrindavane Korinu Gamana. I started to Vrindavan at that very second. And by his mercy, I reached there in great happiness. Sukha, Prabhura Kripate, Sukhe Ainu Vrindavana. Then Jaya Jaya Nityananda, Nityananda Rama, Jahara Kripate Painu Vrindavana Dhamma. All glories to Lord Nityananda Balaram, by whose mercy I have attained the shelter in the transcendental abode of Vrindavan. Jaya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Kripa Maya Jahara Hoite Painu Rupa Sanatan Ashraya. All glories to the merciful Lord Nityananda, by whose mercy I have attained shelter at the lotus feet of Sri Rupa and Sri Sanatan. By his, Nityananda's mercy, I have attained the shelter of the great personality, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, and by his mercy, I have found the refuge of Svarup Damodar. Now you're getting lots of names here, but in course of time, you'll become familiar with these names, just as you are familiar with names of famous personalities in this world. But their fame is glorious upon glorious, each of these personalities he's mentioning. And by the mercy of Sanatan, I have learned the final conclusions of devotional service, and by the grace of Rupa Goswami, I have tasted the highest nectar of devotional service. All glory to the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda, by whose mercy I have attained Sri Radha Govinda. Then, Jagai Madhai Hoite Mui Se Papishta, Purishera Kita Hoite Mui Se Lagishta. This verse, Krishnadas Kaviraj, he is saying, I am more sinful than Jagai and Madai. And you will hear about that glorious sinfulness on another occasion. Means very powerful sinfulness, which was absolved by the more powerful Nityananda and Mahaprabhu. So I am more sinful than Jagai and Madai, and even lower than the worms in the stool. Anyone who hears my name loses the results of his pious activities. Anyone who utters my name becomes sinful. Remember, this is his expression. Who in this world but Nityananda could show his mercy to such an abominable person as me? Because he is intoxicated by ecstatic love and is an incarnation of mercy, he does not distinguish between the good and the bad. He delivers all those who fall down before him. Therefore, he has delivered such a sinful and fallen person as me. And I'm reading this for a reason, which we'll give some little idea to shortly. Although I am sinful and I am the most fallen, he has conferred upon me the lotus feet of Sri Rupa Goswami. I am not fit to speak of all these confidential words about my visiting Lord Madana Mohan and Lord Govinda, deities in Vrindavan. Lord Madana Gopal, the chief deity of Vrindavan, is the enjoyer of the rasa dance and is directly the son of the king of Braja. He enjoys the rasa dance with Srimati Radharani, Sri Lalita and others, and he manifests himself as the Cupid of Cupids. And then, quoting from the scripture, wearing yellow garments and decorated with flower garlands, Lord Krishna, appearing amongst the gopis with his smiling lotus face, looked directly like the charmer of the heart of Cupids. Then with Sri Radha and Sri Lalita serving him on his two sides, he attracts the hearts of all by his sweetness. Yes, this is gently longer than this is longer now than when I read it to myself before. What I would like to say, and maybe I should probably end at this point here, because what we're trying to express here is that the author of this book, how did the book come about? It came about not from his ambition to write, not for his ambition to go to Vrindavan and to become a resident in Vrindavan, but it has come by revealed direction, revealed current. And this has come specifically here through Nityananda Prabhu. And when Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj has had this darshan of Nityananda Prabhu, compared to that, he is feeling himself lower than the lowest and the worst of the worst, all these things. But he's been brought into the association of the very highest associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And these associates, Swarup Damodar, this name of Swarup Damodar, the name of Ramananda Roy, name of Raghunath Das Goswami, Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami. These are some of the eternal and highest associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Chaitanya's Leela, with parallel manifestations in Krishna Leela as the most confidential associates in Krishna Leela. So Nityananda has granted Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj entry into Vrindavan. And not only granted by his instruction, he said, go there and everything will be fulfilled. Now, we're introducing Chaitanya Charitamrta. So Krishnadas Kaviraj's humility has made him a very fit medium for the Lord to reveal through him the transcendental truths about his land, about Krishna's land. And so there is more, of course, in that chapter, as I said, is a little longer. But this was Krishnadas Kaviraj's entrance to Vrindavan. And now a little more from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Bear with me, we're very happy to read Chaitanya Charitamrita. And this, for the translators, is chapter 8 of Madhya Leela. No, it's chapter 8 of Adi Leela. And text number 30, I believe we are starting with here. And this is emphasizing, first of all, about the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which Chaitanya Charitamrta is all about. And about the mercy of Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, his direct brother, in this way, and of all the servitors of Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu is the most merciful manifestation of the Lord. Krishna is considered most merciful, but Krishna in his most merciful manifestation, he manifests himself as Mahaprabhu to deliver the residents of Kali Yuga, us, dear friends, to deliver us from this cycle of birth and death, and to take us to the Amrita, the nectarian plane of Krishna's pastimes. So Krishna, as a devotee, is spreading devotion, and only by devotion, as you've heard from Bhagavad Gita, can one actually enter into Krishna's land. Not by meditation, not by yoga, not by this, not by that. You've all attended the Bhagavad Gita course here, so this you know very well. So we're not saying today about you are not your body, and about this and about that. It's already accepted. So text 31, yes, I'll read, probably try to skip the Bengali a little bit, but we want to read the Bengali. So text 29, of Adi Leela chapter number 8. Hare Krishna. If one chants the exalted holy name of the Lord again and again, yet his love for the Supreme Lord does not develop and tears do not appear in his eyes, it is evident that because of his offenses in chanting, the seed of the holy name does not sprout. But, so that's kind of uh-oh. But now some good news. Next verse. Chaitanya Nityanande nahi e sabhavicha nama loite prema dena bhai ashuddhar. But if one only chants with some slight faith the holy names of Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda, then very quickly his offenses are cleansed. Very quickly he is cleansed of all offenses. Thus, as soon as he chants the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, he feels the ecstasy of love of God. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the independent Supreme Personality of Godhead, is greatly magnanimous. Unless one worships him, one can never be liberated. And then, this is Bengali. Who knows Bengali? Something. Ore mura loka. Oh, foolish people. Mura loka. Ore mura loka. Shunna Chaitanya Mangal. Chaitanya Mahima Jate, Janibe Sakala. You will understand everything. Oh fools, just read Sri Chaitanya Mangal, which became known as Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, the book we told, composed by Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur. By reading this book, you can understand all the glories of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. As Vyasadeva has compiled all the pastimes of Lord Krishna in Srimad Bhagavatam, as we heard yesterday, similarly Thakur Vrindavan Das has depicted the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya in the Chaitanya Bhagavat. Thakur Vrindavan Das has composed Sri Chaitanya Mangal, Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat. Hearing this book annihilates all misfortune. By reading Chaitanya Mangal, one can understand all the glories and truths of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, and come to the ultimate conclusion of devotional service to Krishna. In the Sri Chaitanya Mangal, later known as Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur has given the conclusion and essence of devotional service by quoting the authoritative statements of Srimad Bhagavatam. All this is continuing from yesterday. If even a great atheist hears Sri Chaitanya Mangal, he immediately becomes a great devotee. So any great atheists in our midst, here's your opportunity. Read Chaitanya Mongol, and we will see also in a moment, and Sri Chaitanya Charitamrta. The subject matter of this book that he's describing is so sublime that it appears that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has personally spoken through the writings of Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur. I offer millions of obeisances unto the lotus feet of Vrindavan Das Thakur. No one else could write such a wonderful book for the deliverance of all fallen souls. Narayani eternally eats the remnants of the food of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur was born of her womb. What a wonderful description he has given to the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. Anyone in the three worlds who hears it is purified. I fervently appeal to everyone. This is all Chaitanya Charitamrta, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj. I fervently appeal to everyone to adopt the method of devotional service given by Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, and thus be freed from the miseries of material existence and ultimately achieve the loving service of the Lord. Then Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur has written Sri Chaitanya Mongol, and therein described in all respects the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. He first summarized all the pastimes of the Lord and then later described them vividly in details. The pastimes of Lord Chaitanya are unlimited and unfathomable. Therefore, in describing all those pastimes, the book became voluminous, very big. He saw them to be so extensive that he later felt that some of those pastimes had not been properly described. He ecstatically described the pastimes of Lord Nityananda, but the later pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu remained untold. The devotees of Vrindavan the devotees of Vrindavan were all very anxious to hear those later pastimes. So I'm reading from Chaitanya Charitamrta. So this is Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami's own expression about how this book came to be, introduction to Chaitanya Charitamrita. With all respect, he's giving to Vrindavan Das Thakur, he's explaining. But the devotees of Vrindavan were all very anxious to hear those later pastimes. Then, Vrindavane Kalpadrume Suvarna Sadhana Maha Yoga Pitatahan Ratna Singhasana. In Vrindavan, in a great place of pilgrimage, underneath the desire trees, is a golden throne bedecked with jewels. On that throne sits the son of Nanda Maharaj, Govinda Dev, Sri Govinda Dev, the transcendental Cupid. Why Cupid? Cupid forcefully attracts the heart with love, lovingly, forcefully attracts the heart. Varieties of majestic service are rendered to Govinda there. His garments, ornaments, and paraphernalia are all transcendental. In that temple of Govindaji, thousands of servitors always render service to the Lord in devotion. Even with thousands of mouths, one could not describe this service. In that temple, the chief servitor was Sri Haridas Pandit. So this is different from Haridas Thakur. Sri Haridas Pandit. His qualities and fame are known all over the world. And now here's a description of a devotee. He was gentle. Huh? Who has raised? Oh, Kelly Kadam, yes. Am I speaking too fast?
Maharaj, I'm sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to be sure because they're very wonderful excerpts, but I just wanted to be sure that our translators can find them as we go through because
I think they have the direct translation on the Veda base. I put the links for the English and they translate.
Okay.
Okay, do check.
Lost. Yeah.
You can see everybody better than I can, so please let me know. I can't see you, but you can see me. I'm sorry. Okay, we got lots of thumbs up. I'll try to read a little slower, but I think they've got this, and they may be reading faster than me because it is very exciting. Our audience is sighing. Okay, we have a little relief. Here is some description of the glories of Sri Haridas Pandit, the chief servitor of Govindaji. Sushila, Sahishnu, Shanta, Vadanya, Gambhira, Madhura Vachana, Madhura Cheshta, Mahadhira. So he was gentle, tolerant, peaceful, magnanimous, grave, sweet in his words, and very sober in his endeavors. He was respectful to everyone and worked for the benefit of all. Diplomacy, envy, and jealousy were unknown to his heart. The 50 qualities of Lord Krishna were all present in his body. And then, okay, there's a quote, it's not the 50 qualities of Krishna, but here, a quote from Sanskrit, in one who has unflinching devotional faith in Krishna, all the good qualities of Krishna and the Devas are consistently manifested. However, one who has no devotion to the Supreme Lord has no good, qualifications because he is engaged in mental concoction in material existence, which is the eternal feature of the Lord. Hare Krishna. Okay, I think I understand this is a little bit longer. This grew in length since I read it earlier today. But I was caught up in reading these glorious things. At home, you can catch up with hearing the qualities of the Lord. But maybe I should hearing the qualities of the devotees of the Lord. And it's these devotees who come to give their grace to him. So I'm skipping a few verses. Sorry, they're the glories of the Lord. So like the full moon, he illuminated the entire assembly of Vaishnavas by speaking Sri Chaitanya Mangal. And by the nectar of his qualities, he increased their transcendental bliss. So this is all about Pandit Haridas. And then, this after a few verses, then Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj says, by his causeless mercy, he ordered me to write about the last pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Govinda Gosai, the priest engaged in the service of Lord Govinda in Vrindavan, was a disciple of Kashishva Pandit, another great soul. We can talk about him another time. There was no servant more dear to the Govinda deity. And now some more. Sri Jadavacharya Gosai, a constant associate of Srila Rupa Goswami, was also very enthusiastic in hearing and chanting about Lord Chaitanya's pastimes. And Bhurgava Gosai, a disciple of Pandit Gosai, was always engaged in topics regarding Lord Chaitanya, knowing nothing else. And among his disciples were Chaitanya Das, who was a priest of the Govinda deity, as well as Mukundananda Chakravarti and the great devotee Krishnadas, another Krishnadas. Among the disciples, okay, we're another. Oh, there were so many great disciples, of whom, all of whom, okay, so there were so many, okay, I won't miss out that verse, I'll read it still. Among the disciples of Anantacharya was Shivananda Chakravarti, in whose heart Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda constantly dwelled. Then, in Vrindavan, there were also many other great devotees, all of whom desired to hear the last pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. By their mercy, all these devotees ordered me to write of the last pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because of their order only, although I am shameless, I have attempted to write this Sri Chaitanya Charitamrta. Having received the order of the Vaishnavas, but being anxious within my heart, I went to the temple of Madana Mohan. Krishna, Madana Mohan, who captures the heart, in Vrindavan, to ask his permission also. And when I visited the temple of Madana Mohan, the priest Gosaidas, was serving the feet of the Lord, and I also prayed at the Lord's lotus feet. When I prayed to the Lord for permission, a garland from his neck immediately slipped down. As soon as this happened, the Vaishnavas standing there all loudly chanted, Hari Bol! And the priest Gosaidas brought me the garland and put it around my neck. Then Agya Mala Paya Amara Hoila Ananda Tahani Korinu E Grantara Aramba. I was greatly pleased to have the garland signifying the order of the Lord. And then and there, I commenced to write this book. E Grantalekaya More Madana Mohana Amara Likana Jaina Shukira Patana. Actually, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrta is not my writing, but the dictation of Sri Madana Mohan. My writing is like the repetition of a parrot. This is how he's expressing everything. And then, Se Liki Madana Gopal Jay Likaya. As a wooden doll is made to dance, or this is the next line, as a wooden doll is made to dance by a magician, I write as Madana Gopal orders me to do so. Then I accept as my family deity Madana Mohan, whose worshippers are Raghunath Das Goswami, Sri Rupa Goswami, and Sri Sanatan Goswami. I took permission from Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur by praying at his lotus feet, and upon receiving his order, I have attempted to write this auspicious literature. Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur is the authorized writer on the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya, and without his mercy, therefore, one cannot describe these pastimes. Murkha, Nicha, Kshudra, Mui, Vishaya, Lalasa, Vaishnavagya Bale Kori, Etika Sahasa. I am foolish, lowborn, and insignificant, and I always desire material enjoyment. Yet by the order of the Vaishnavas, I am greatly enthusiastic to write this transcendental literature. Sri Rupa Raghunatha Charanera E Bala, strength. Jara Shmite Siddha Hoya Vanchita Sakala. The lotus feet of Rupa and Raghunath are my source of strength. Remembering their lotus feet can fulfill all one's desires. Sri Rupa Raghunatha Pade Jara Asha Chaitanya Charitamrta Kohe Krishna Dasa. So a little bit of long reading, but it's all from Chaitanya Charitamrita. And we want to introduce the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrta to show its substance, and the best person who's introducing it himself is the author, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj. And so happily, I'm happy to read it, and I hope that everyone has captured that enthusiasm, the current, the upward, up to down, up energy to this world that's coming, flowing through Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj through his pen. And this is Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Now, I would like to say, I would like to say my goodness, because really, my goodness, time has gone by. But I've got different quotations here, but Srila Guru Maharaj has composed, but I don't have it here. What happened to my my quote? Anyway, I'll save some quotes for you for tomorrow, because I've been reading a lot right now, I suppose. But I'm not reading. We are trying to share the Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj's enthusiasm, but now you can understand what kind of substance is going to come through the pen of Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj. And as we said, when Krishna comes, he doesn't come alone. When the king comes, he doesn't come alone. He comes with his entourage. Krishna, yesterday we explained, came with his topmost associates and his abode, everything, all his friends. Similarly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, and so he came with all his friends and associates, as it were, and he starts Chaitanya Charitamrita already assuming that we know we're not the body, that there's karma, there's heaven, there's hell in the material world, but there is the spiritual world, there's the Vaikuntha plane, the personality of God. He starts straight out with Chaitanya Charitamrita, describing the parallels of who is Mahaprabhu, who are his principal associates. And because generally people already know Srimad Bhagavatam, they have faith in Krishna, they've heard of Radha Krishna, Krishna's pastimes, they've heard of Vrindavan, Mathura, they've heard of different Kamsa, different demons, etc. But they've heard of Krishna. But Mahaprabhu is like a new personality, if you like, because he's hidden, a hidden avatar in the scripture. So Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj, immediately on starting his writing of Chaitanya Charitamrita, is showing how Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the supremest, origin of all, avatari. And similarly, so is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And in the very beginning, he starts to give about the description of Pancha Tattva. Shri, that means 5 truths. That means Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita, Advaita Acharya, Gadadha Pandit, and Srivas Thakur, who is heading, he's like the heading, the Jiva Soul section, the devotee, pure Jiva Soul devotee section. And in this way, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj is explaining why the Lord appeared externally and why, what was his external reason for appearing, his internal reason for appearing. He's explaining about the Pancha Tattva, he's explaining about Guru, the whole Guru principle, and we have to receive this in a living way, and by our own study of the Vedas, etc. Then our brain, what's it going to invent, or from here, or pick up from this place, that place, that place? We must come in a proper Guru succession, a Guru connection, living connection with the Lord. And anyhow, the early part or the first many chapters, they're dealing with making it clear to us that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates are not of this world. They have come here to deliver this world. And this world means us, you and me, all of us here. And they are Krishna and his associates in a parallel plane of Mahaprabhu and their associates. So as Srimad Bhagavatam has 9 cantos, so by which time the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and then Sri Krishna, all of this sweetness. So also we have to embed in our heart, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not just another sadhu in India, very much not. This is being expressed by the pen of he who you have been hearing about just now, how Chaitanya Charitamrta came about, why we should give our attention to it, and wonderful things to be revealed. Jai Sri Chaitanya Charitamrta ki Jai. And I know over here there are questions from someone. I think there's a list of questions perhaps. I need to turn my screen so I can see you. No, I can see here. So I can see you all now. And not my notes, of which I've got several more things which I wrote down. I'll see what we can manage tomorrow, but tomorrow we have part 3. So with all the foundation you've got, come back tomorrow because there is more to say on this subject matter. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. We hear from Srila Gurudev that we are to become proper receivers of descending grace. It is not an ascending process, but a descending process of grace. What can we do to draw grace from Sriman Mahaprabhu, Lord Nityananda Prabhu, and Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj?
Follow the guidance, the daily program, the sadhana, the good things that have been taught to us by our Guru Parampara, those who are connected very substantially, the connection of this current, what Gurudev has given us, what Guru Maharaj has given us. They've given us our daily practice, which includes the daily reading of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrta. Be humble, be tolerant, give honor to others. We want to please our masters, and as I said at the beginning, before coming here, we are giving our obeisances and actually making a prayer, really, to Gurudev and Guru Maharaj, that we may present and say, the right things, could do some presentable presentation, and we know that they will be happy if in every talk, every day, we can actually at least once stress, be humble, be tolerant, give honor to others, and don't want honor for oneself, and chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. And we have a room full of pandits here. They can all translate that into Sanskrit straight away and say, Trinadapi sunichena taroriva sahishnuna amanina manadina kirtanya sada harihi. You see, there we are. And Gurudev will be happy. We can feel him smiling on us. Gurudev, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj. Kaviraj, like he sought permission from Sri Vrindavan Das. Like they lived during the same duration, or was it like just in his thought he sought the permission?
Yeah, this is a good question, but as far as I understood, that already Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur has disappeared from this world. He's given the scripture, and he is taking permission from him, like you say, internally. And I was actually thinking, and I have thought this before, that did he go to a particular place in Vrindavan associated with Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur? But that I do not know, and so I can only say what I know. I was trying to think of a place in Vrindavan, but I do not know where is associated. What I can say is that the second closest village, or it might even be the closest village, like in a triangle, if we have a blackboard here, where Gurudev, where Srila Govinda Maharaj appeared in the world, is called Bamunpara, which is actually a mutation of the word Brahmanapura, Brahmanapur, the town, the place of the Brahmanas. And Brahmanpur, over the decades or the centuries, has become Bamunpara. But there is a little triangle of where he went to school in Putsuri, and where is Vrindavan Das Thakur's place where he wrote the Chaitanya Bhagavat, which is called Dhenur. So it's very close to Gurudev's village. I mean, wonderful area that's known as Raradesh, with a D with a dot under it. It's Raradesh, not Radhadesh, for sure. It's a super sweet area. Even we don't know what's there, but we can feel that it is not of this world. And that's where he wrote where Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur wrote the Chaitanya Bhagavat. And
thank you.
I only know also other places, but they're all in Navadip, associated with a Navadip area.
Yeah. Thank you. And another question is, throughout the Charitamrta, I think we'll see that Mahaprabhu always encouraged his devotees to go to Vrindavan. But he, in his later life, he settled down in Puri, Jagannath Puri, you mentioned. Why he did not...
Well, you please keep reading Chaitanya Charitamrta, and you might just find that my understanding was that he did not encourage devotees to go to Vrindavan. Rather, when devotees wanted to go to Vrindavan, then he would be very cautious to give permission and even not give permission. And he stayed in Jagannath Puri, and Jagannath Puri, he lived his life union in separation in this way. He did make pilgrimage to Vrindavan. He visited Vrindavan, and on the way back, Leela in all ways. But he came back from Vrindavan. He gave his obeisances, he had darshan, and for the devotees in general, we are recommended to spend only 3 nights in Vrindavan and to be always under the shelter of the senior devotees who can properly protect us and guide us there. And Jagadananda Pandit, he wanted to go to Vrindavan, and again asked Mahaprabhu, because we hear about Vrindavan. But remember, Vrindavan, what we see and what is under the cover, little different. But Mahaprabhu, no. And then still Jagadananda asking, so on one time said, okay, you so much want to go, you go to Vrindavan, but when you go to Vrindavan, don't leave the association of Rupa and Sanatana Goswami for even a moment. You stay under their shelter. Not to put your feet on Govardhan Hill. It's the place of Krishna's pastimes, but it is also Krishna himself manifested. So not to step on Govardhan Hill, and do not imitate the residents of the Dham. Don't mix with them closely. Don't be familiar with them, and don't imitate what they do. So we must be very careful and be under guidance, and Mahaprabhu gave this, and it's in Chaitanya Charitamrta, which is what we're also going to come to, the Chaitanya Charitamrta. What is contained there? Not only these super high topics of the later pastimes, but so many aspects of devotional life, conduct, etiquette, etc.
Thank you. was doing from yesterday.
Um,
Hare Krishna, Srila.
Hare Krishna. Let's say your life is very stable and you join like a course because you want to become a follower of Krishna. And you join for fun, but then you slowly want to like start learning more and more. Like what kind of follower like would that count as? Because in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says there's like multiple kind of followers who come to him. So which one would that one count as?
You try to follow a follower of Srila Govinda Maharaj and Srila Sridhar Maharaj. Then you will be safe, safe and sound. Huh? Oh, repeat the question. So the question is, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, different kinds of people come to surrender to him. Those who are in need of something, those who are inquisitive. I forget what they all are. Sorry, Devashishu, I'm a bad student of Bhagavad Gita. But so who is the best person to come to take shelter of? Yes? No, what was...
So like what she's saying that few people join the followed for fun, but slowly,
For fun?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
like children, and then slowly they start getting interested into Krishna's preaching.
Oh, okay.
So what kind of followers they are considered as?
Oh, well, I really got the question wrong. It's a good job I
And
repeated
you
the
got
question.
it. You got a second part. And if they do, whom do they should follow to really become Krishna's devotee, which you have already answered.
So the first question is that young ones, they join Krishna consciousness for fun. That's a good reason to join Krishna consciousness. There is a lot of chanting and dancing, honoring prasadam, and beautiful stories, beautiful things to hear, and the coloring. What colors Krishna? We can learn that. But they join for fun, but then
they become interested.
Yeah.
And so she's asking what kind of follower they are, like who joined as for fun, but
good.
They're good.
However we come to join, it is very good. And to come for fun, that is very good, because Krishna, he wants us to be happy and to have fun. He doesn't want us to be suffering and grumpy and politicians and what. Oh, sorry, those who are politicians, but use your politician in service. No, I mean political in the sense of, you know, all the isms of this world. He doesn't want that. He doesn't want us to get caught up in this world. He wants us to be worry-free. And to be a devotee is actually the only truly worry-free thing in this world. Krishna says, Cheto dapanam marjanam bhava. He's coming to say, clean the mirror of the heart, and one of the very first effects is you'll be relieved of all the worries of this world, even of death. Oh, don't worry. We're going in the right direction. Krishna's my guardian. Everything's fine. We just are here to engage in service, and it'll take us in the right direction. So it's fine. Come for fun. But chant Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
And then, but then the second
part was
who will we follow?
Yeah, whom do we follow?
Really, try to find someone. If you really can find someone who's got understanding, some faith in Srila Govinda Maharaj, we're saying Srila Gurudev, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Sridhar Maharaj, and Srila Prabhupada, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Someone who really can appreciate all three and living that kind of a life, then we can understand that you'll have some safety, good safety. And we feel that if somebody only has faith in one and not in the others, or two and not in one of the others, then there's a little, something is like not fully there. And so we feel really that the safe way to go is where someone really knows that Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, and Srila Prabhupada, they are the pure souls who've come to give us our greatest fortune, not only now, but in 1,000 years' time. Then the fortunate, they will be looking to these three great personalities, what they've given to the world. So there you try to get your shelter. You look, you pray to Krishna for shelter. And pray to Nityananda. We've been hearing about Nityananda. He's known as the original Guru because he's doing everything for Krishna. He's doing everything for Mahaprabhu, which is Radha and Krishna. And this way, he's recruiting for him. So the original Guru, original giver of the seed of divine love. So pray to Nityananda. Hare Krishna.
Jai
Jai Nitai. Hare Krishna. Govinda Govinda. Okay, maybe no more questions. I don't know. But yesterday, I was told that Mukunda Prabhu was putting up his hand, but I didn't notice Mukunda Prabhu. Please excuse. Mukunda Prabhu is our red-clad brahmachari who took the leap to be a red-clad brahmachari some months ago, 6 months ago maybe, in South Africa. So I was told you were putting up your hand yesterday. Nope. Okay. Are you putting up two hands today to make up for not putting up one hand yesterday? Mukunda Prabhu, good to see you. And tilak on the brown skin always looks so wonderful, glowing, beautiful. Hare Krishna. Okay, well, devotees, okay, well, if all is silent, we'll chant Hare Krishna. There is more to come tomorrow, and I've got a couple of things. I mean, we're ready for tomorrow, but that's going to come tomorrow. Otherwise, we're going to be speaking here for another hour plus. And so I think we take what we've heard today, digest it, and everybody can revisit these chapters. And we mentioned the chapters as we were reading them. But it's Adi Leela, Chaitanya Charitamrta, Adi Leela chapter 5, Chaitanya Charitamrta, Adi Leela chapter 8. Those two chapters we were reading from, you can revisit them, take the verses more slowly, see the Bengali and the text, and digest what we've heard today. But wonderful things, a solid foundation, and we will get a solid foundation by taking shelter of Chaitanya Charitamrta and the living current of those who are living this life. Gurudev, Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, our Sampradaya. So Jai Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Sundar, Govinda, Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rakha, Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai Bhagavan, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki Jai. Shri Rupanuga Guru Vaga ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Jai. Yes. And all Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki Jai, and all the assembled devotees ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Premanandi. Hari Hari Bo. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha. Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha. Patitanam Pavanebhyo. Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah.